People took part in a rally to protest at the closure of Morisset Hospital.
It was a huge turnout for a small town like Morisset. Many of the shops were closed to enable shopkeepers to join the sea of health workers marching down the main street. The demonstrators, many of them carrying placards, then congregated at a local oval for a rally. Speaker after speaker hammered home the consequences from both the patients' and employees' point of view of closing the hospital.
It's going to have a major impact, number one, on the care of the patients. A lot of these patients have been tried in the community before and they can't cope. It's also going to have a major impact on the business community and the township of Morisset, which will be almost devastating. And it's also going to have a major impact on the nursing staff because they've got no job future.
It became very clear today that the closure of Morisset Hospital is hotting up as an election issue. The Liberals say far from closing the hospital, if they get into power, they'll be upgrading it. Legislative Council member John Jobling, speaking for opposition health spokesman Peter Collins, says he believes the Morisset vote could give the Liberal Party the 9% needed to unseat the ALP in a seat of Lake Macquarie.
We don't propose to close Morisset, but we're going to upgrade it, improve the facilities, improve the staffing, and look at the Richmond report in a sensible way, rather than just saying everybody out, tough luck if you can't cope. I'm sure our candidate Val Samuels will pick up the votes from here today, and she'd make an excellent caring member for this area and would work at it, which would be a lovely change.
Under the Richmond plan, Morisset Hospital will close in 1991, with 400 patients dispersed to community homes and other institutions.
It was an odd alliance. Hospital staff, business people, officials of 9 trade unions and badge-wearing Liberals growing daily more vocal with the prospect of an election. As they marched past the closed shops of Morisset, the hospital at the heart of their protest had a strangely deserted air. Nearly 400 patients kept inside their wards by a skeleton staff. Unions were describing the planned closure of this hospital as a potential asset sale. A private assessment of the hospital and its Lake Macquarie land had put its worth at $490 million. The marchers had mixed concerns. For some, the patients.
Close the hospitals, that cures psychiatric illness.
The patients aren't going to be carefully looked after once they're shot out. They're just going to be forgotten about.
We like to look after them and we hope the government will continue to do so. We don't feel that's what's going to happen.
Others were more down to earth.
There won't be enough jobs to go around for us. That's what we're worried about.
And the politicians said political things.
The government has shown its total disregard for the people, for the hospital and for the patients.
But with a town of 3,500